Hello, this is Data Sufficiency Lesson 4. In this, I will continue with questions on data sufficiency. These questions, first you have to solve yourself, then look at the way I have solved. Now for the first question, pause the video, try to solve yourself. Now question 1 is saying, what is the ratio of the savings of A and B? What is saving? Saving means income minus expenditure. Now first task is one alone. Can we solve this question by one alone statement? No, we simply can't solve because ratio of income of A is B is given. A and B, there are two persons. Income are in the ratio 3:4. So can I say that income will be 3x and 4x? Now I can't determine the saving only from income. I need expenditure. So one alone is not sufficient to answer the question. Second alone. Forget the first, second alone. Second statement says that the ratio of the expenditure A and B expenditure is in the ratio 4:5. We can take this is 4y and 5y. We have to change the variable because it may be different. Expenditure will be different from the saving. 4y and 5y. Now still we can't determine the saving because we need income. Now combine. Whenever individually statements are not sufficient, then only we combine. So combining means that we will assume that both 1 and 2 are true. So A and B, the income is, you can say that 3x and 4x. Their expenditure is 4y and 5y. Now what is the saving? Saving is income minus expenditure, that is 3x minus 4y, 4x minus 5y. Can we still determine the ratio? This ratio is 3x minus 4y, 4x minus 5y. Still the answer is in the variable. The saving ratio will depend on the value of x and y. For different values of x and y, we will get different answer. And I told you that in data sufficiency, statement is sufficient only when we get a unique answer. Only when we get a unique answer, we can say that the statement is sufficient. In this case, you will not get a unique answer. The answer will depend on the value of x and y. And don't forget that we ourselves has assumed the value variables x and y. It was not given in the question. We have assumed the variables as x and y. So for different values of x and y, you will get different answer. So even after combining the both statement, we are not able to get the answer, or this is not sufficient to answer the question. So our answer would be statement 1 and 2 together are not sufficient to answer the question. So our answer would be E for elephant. E will be our final answer. Now question 2 is, at what price did a trader purchase each mango? Now you should pause the video, try to solve yourself. It will be online practice for you. Now first I will try to solve this question by one alone. I need to tell the at what price did a trader purchase, means the cost price of I need to calculate for each mango. What the first statement says that first we have to go for one alone. The each mango was sold, let's say selling price is S. We have to solve in the faster manner. So we will take the symbolic alphabet for the selling price. Let's S is the selling price. Each mango was sold for 20 more than the profit. 20 more than the profit. Profit plus 20. Each mango was sold 20 more than the profit. P plus 20. Now what is profit? Profit we all know that selling price minus cost price. C is the cost price. Profit is always selling price minus cost price whenever there is a profit. Now you can see that S and N got cancelled. We will get C is equals to 20. So what we need to calculate? We need to calculate the cost price that we got. So this statement one alone is sufficient to answer the question. It means that the trader purchased the mango at a cost price of 20 rupees. Second alone. When I say second alone, you have to forget the first statement. It says that each mango was purchased. Purchase means the cost price 20 less than the profit. 20 less than the profit. P minus 20. What is profit? Profit is selling price minus cost price minus 20. Can I say this is equals to 2C is equals to S minus 20. Now here I got two variable and it can have infinite possible values of C as well as S. This is a linear equation. If I say that S minus 2C will be equals to 20. This is a linear equation and I can have infinite possible values of both S as well as C. So from this statement I am not getting a unique answer. This is not sufficient to answer the question. So my answer will be 1 alone is sufficient to answer the question, whereas 2 alone is not sufficient to answer the question. And there is no need to combine, because we used to combine only when both individual statements are not sufficient to answer the question. So our answer would be statement 1 alone is sufficient, 2 alone is not sufficient. That is, our answer would be A. Question 3, you should pause the video, try to solve yourself. The question says that in an election, every person voted for exactly one of the candidates A, B and C who won the election. Statement 1 alone says that 100% voted in an election and A got 20 votes. A, B and C. A got 20 votes. It means that B and C combined got 80 votes, because total number of people voting is 100. So we can't determine unique answer. It could be 70, 30, 30, 70, 40, 60, 60, 40. There are any n number of possibilities for B and C. Now who won the election? It could be B or it could be C. We can't get a unique answer. This statement is not sufficient to answer the question. Second, C got more votes than B. Second alone. Now C got more votes than B. It means that it could be 10, it could be 8 and rest will be for A. It could be 40, it could be 30 and there will be n number of possibility in this case also. This is not sufficient. So when 1 alone is not sufficient, 2 alone is not sufficient, we will combine and we will assume that both the statement are true, and then we will try to find the whether they are sufficient to answer the question or not. So we'll assume that when I say both statement, we will assume that both are correct. So A, B and C. A got, from the first, A got 20 vote, total are 100. So it means B plus C, this would be 80. B plus C would be 80, because A got 20, B plus C would be 20. Second says that C got more vote than B. Now total are 80. So minimum difference would be 1. This would be 41 or this could be 39, because total they should be 80 and we know that C got more votes than B. So it could be 42 or 38. It could be 43, or you can say that this is 37. It could be 50 and 30. It could be 60 or 20, 70, 10, and there will be n number of possibilities. Now question is not saying C got how many votes. The question says who won the election. Now in every sense, every case, who is winning the election? C is winning the election, because A is always less than C. A is 20, this is fixed. B and C got 80 together, and in those 80, C got more votes than B. So minimum difference would be at least 2, 41 and 39. That will be the minimum margin with which C win. Otherwise it could be 70 or 10. But in every situation, who is winning the election? C is winning the election. Question is not asking about who C got how many exact votes. Question is asking about who won the election. So we can uniquely say that C won the election. So we got a unique answer. C, the third person among A, B, C, won the election. So this together statement is sufficient to answer the question. So our answer would be E. Question 4, you should pause the video, try to solve yourself. What is the remainder when a number k is divided by 4? First we will take 1 alone. K is divided by 4. I am solving this. This k is divided by 4. This is the question. We need to calculate the remainder. Let's say quotient is q and the remainder is r. How we used to write? Number is equals to divisor into quotient 4 into q plus r. Divisor into quotient plus remainder. Number is always equals to, I am just writing here, number is always equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So we are dividing k by 4. So k would be 4 into q plus r. Now one says that k is 4 more than the remainder. K is r plus 4. 4 more than the remainder. So this is 4 into q plus r. R and r got cancelled. You will get q is equals to 1. You got q is equals to 1. Put the value of q. You will get k is equals to 4 plus r. Now, are we getting unique answer? We need to calculate the remainder. Now, when you divide something by 4, there are only 3 possibility of remainder. 4 possibilities, 0, 1, 2 or 3. If you divide any number by 4, remainder would be 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. So when r is 0, r could be 1, r could be 2 or r could be 3. When r is 0, k would be how much? 4 plus 0, that is 4. Or k could be 4 plus 1, k could be 4 plus 2 and k could be 4 plus 3. So we have 4 plus 0 is 4, 5, 6 and 7. So 4 answers are coming for the value of k, and for the value of remainder we have 4 possibilities 0, 1, 2 or 3. So we are not able to determine the unique answer. So this statement is not sufficient to answer the question. Second alone, k is a composite number. This is not sufficient because composite number are infinite. What is a composite number? Natural number which is not prime is a composite number, or you can say that a number which has more than 2 factors. For example, 6, 8, 10, there are infinite composite numbers. So this statement is not sufficient. Now combine 1 and 2. Whenever individually statement are not sufficient, you have to combine. Combining that means that we will assume that 1 as well as 2 both are true. So from 1 we are getting k is equals to, we are getting k as 4, 5, 6 and 7. The value of k is 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now question says that we got k as 4, 5, 6 and 7 from 1, and from second k is composite number. Assuming that both are true, what will the value of k that will be? Now k can't be 5 or 7 because 5 and 7 are prime number given that k is composite number. So we are only left with k is equals to 4 or 6. K is equals to 4 or 6. So when k is 4, the remainder is 0. You can see that k is 4, the remainder is 0. When k is 6, the remainder is 2. So still we are not able to determine the unique value of remainder. So this statement, even after combining 1 and 2, is not sufficient to answer the question. So our answer would be E. Both statements together are not sufficient to answer the question. Next question is 5. Again pause the video, try to solve yourself. What is the area of rectangle? We know that area of rectangle is length into breadth. We need to calculate this. The statement 1 alone says that longer side is x. A is equals to area is length into breadth. The longer side length is always the longer side. In a rectangle, length is always greater than equals to breadth. So length is x, we don't know the breadth, so we can't determine the area. This is not sufficient to answer the question. Second says that the one side of rectangle is the square of the perpendicular side. So it means that area is equals to L into B. Now there could be infinite possibilities in this case, because let's say if the breadth is 5, so length could be 5 square. One side is, because in rectangle there are two sides, length and breadth. So length will always be greater than breadth. So if breadth is 5, length will be square of that, because one side of the square rectangle is square of the perpendicular side. So it could be 6 or 6 square. It could be 9 or root 9. So there will be infinite possibilities, not sufficient to answer the question, this statement. Now combine 1 and 2, you have to combine. Area is, we know that length into breadth. Now longer side of rectangle is x. This is given to you, longer side is x. That is, length is x, length is always a longer side in rectangle. And second statement says that one side is a square of the other perpendicular side. So B could be root x, it could be x square, because second statement says that one side is square of other side. It's not written that length is square of breadth or breadth is square of length. One side is a square of other side. So it could be x or x square. Now we have to satisfy the condition of rectangle, that length should be greater than equals to breadth. Now is the both possibility true or not? Let's say I'm trying here. Area is length into breadth. So I have two cases, x into root x. In this case, area would be x root x. Here could be x or x square. Is both situation valid? Here the area would be x cube. Now the question is the both statement valid? Yes. The important thing is that length must always be greater than equals to breadth. Whenever x is more than 1, your x would be more than root x. So length will be greater than the breadth. If you put x is equals to 10, breadth would be root 10. Valid area would be x root x. Now in this scenario, It is also a valid case, x into x square. Why so? Whenever x is between 0 and 1, whenever x is between 0 and 1, x would be greater than, I'm just writing here, x would be greater than x square. Whenever x is between 0 and 1, x would be greater than x square. X can't be negative because it's a side of a rectangle. Now for example, x is half. Whenever x is half, you can say that half is always greater than 1 by 2 whole square, 1 by 4. X could be 1 by 3, 1 by 3 is always greater than 1 by 3 whole square. So very important, whenever x is between 0 and 1, the length x would be greater than x square and area valid would be x cube. So we are getting two answer for if even after combining the statement. So this is not sufficient. So answer would be E. Question 6, you have to pause the video, try to solve yourself. Question says that does Sohan Lal building have more than 5 floors? First statement says that the building with more than 5 floors have a lift. Now floors, more than 5 floor, the building is definitely have a lift. So this could be the building of Sohan Lal, case number 1. Case number 2, well, building have less than 5 or equals to 5 floors. There are two possibilities. Either the building will have more than 5 floors or it will have less than equals to 5 floors. Then it could have, may or may not have a lift. No lift. So there are three possibilities. Because we have not given that building with less than 5 floor or less than equals to 5 floor does not have a lift. Only thing is given that all building with more than 5 floors have a lift. So we have three possibilities for Sohan Lal building. Either it will be more than 5 floor and with a lift, less than 5 floor with lift, less than 5 floor without lift. Now second, so this statement is not sufficient because we are getting three possibilities. In data sufficiency, you don't have to assume anything of your own. You have to assume what is given in the statement. Second alone, Sohan Lal has a lift. Its house has a lift. So from here we can't determine Sohan Lal building has more than 5 floors or not. So this statement is also not sufficient. Combining 1 and 2. So from 1 we got floors and lift or not. So from 1 we got more than 5 floor is definitely have a lift. Less than equals to 5 floor it may have lift or it has no lift. This is from 1. So 1 I have assumed true. Second I will also assume as true because I am combining. When I am assuming second statement as true, it means that Sohan Lal building has a lift. So this option will be get cancelled out because Sohan Lal building has a lift. So still there are two possibilities. Sohan Lal building has a lift. In both the cases the building have a lift. But in one case it has more than 5 floors. In other case it has less than or equals to 5 floors. Still our question is unanswered. Question was, does Sohan Lal building have more than 5 floors? Answer is may or may not be. So this statement is also not sufficient. Even after combining, you are not getting a unique answer. So this answer would be E. Both statements together are not sufficient to answer the question. So that was all about lesson 4. In this we discussed medium to difficult level questions on DS. Thank you.